Previously on Power Reviews. How did I get here? Everything started out so simple. I was just a guy reviewing Power Rangers episodes on the internet alongside my roommate, Dr. K, a Power Rangers RPM character that may or may not have been a figment of my imagination, who developed an invisible camera for me to record my show on. My next-door neighbor, Guy, was a little suspicious, and my other neighbor, Mayo, looked exactly like Kay, and my new neighbors, the Morpostners, were super weird, but everything seemed to be going all right. At least up until I realized that I had no memory of how Kay and I actually met, or really any part of my life before I started doing the show, and then Kay ran out the door and disappeared, and later reappeared, and then I got an offer for a book deal which totally turned out to be a trap by Alphabet Soup, the secret government organization that captured Kay as a child and totally shouldn't even exist in the real world, but Guy was totally a part of, and who I was only able to escape because of my secret fighting skills that I didn't even know about. Then they kidnapped Mayo, so Kay helped me rescue Mayo, but we totally set off an EMP on our way out, and then Mayo got freaked out because my eyes went all glowy, and I got freaked out because my eyes went all glowy, so Kay used a brain scanner to look inside my head, and I saw all sorts of weird stuff and found out that I'm a synth-organic biomechanoid, whatever that is, and now the invisible camera was kinda sorta linked to my brain. Then Guy showed up to tell us that he wasn't really part of Alphabet Soup, he was part of Hexagon, and he was the one who set off the EMP. And then two real Alphabet Soup agents called T-Alpha and T-Beta showed up and broke into my apartment with an EMP that fried my brain some more, but we managed to fight them off, but we accidentally tore a hole in reality when we did it, because when two alternate universe counterparts collide in an electromagnetically unstable region, reality kind of hates that. Oh, right, almost forgot. Kay is really from the Power Rangers universe, as is Alphabet Soup, which makes Mayo her alternate universe counterpart, and half the Soup agents are doubles of one another, because after they came through an interdimensional rift in outer space, they started recruiting their counterparts from this universe. Anyway, this is around when Kay realized that the reason that she had disappeared earlier was because she was only tethered to this world thanks to the wireless interdimensional interface, a mysterious device sitting in my apartment that Mayo messed with when Guy was moving out. Oh, that's right. Guy was my roommate for a while. So, right after this transdimensional tear sucked up T-Alpha and T-Beta, we used the wireless interdimensional interface to stabilize it into a portal that let in this creepy demon dude that I only just managed to fend off. Unfortunately, my newfound ability to seal portals didn't just cost me my ponytail, it also cost me my memories, which luckily I was able to get back with the help of Kay's brain scanner, which timed out perfectly to us finding out the EMP we set off back at Alphabet Soup had created a chain reaction leading to a whole mess of new transdimensional tears that threatened to swallow up the entire world. This is when I realized that all the Power Rangers episodes being beamed into my brain by the camera were really clues to my true identity, and I finally morphed into the one and only Phantom Ranger to teleport off to Alphabet Soup, seal up the tears, and save the day. Or so I thought. You see, when I sealed the transdimensional tears, I accidentally got trapped in another dimension, where I got totally creeped out by this super shady shadow archetype version of myself that nearly had me convinced that I had imagined every single one of my adventures and was really a depressed agoraphobic shut-in. Crazy, right? Kay later told me that the whole place was made of psionic energy, so it's entirely possible that he was really my dark side made manifest. Creepy. Luckily, back home, Kay and Mayo had joined forces with Guy to create a new invisible camera to sync up with my old one, and using the old alternate universe counterparts collide in an electromagnetically unstable region trick, we were able to use the wireless interdimensional interface to open up a portal to bring me home. But then, Alphabet Soup went back to their old digs and their old tricks, so we had to hide Mayo at the Morpostners' secret house that no one knew about, while Guy and I kidnapped Alphabet Soup scientist Dr. C to break back into their place a fourth time. Anyway, everyone seemed really creeped out by these weird ghosts, which turned out to actually be T-Alpha and T-Beta, who we accidentally let back into our world as the newly merged T-Omega, who was creepy and powerful and able to suck other agents into transdimensional tears, and who we only managed to stop after the Morpostners ran him over with their car. That was awkward. Then things got even more complicated after Guy and Kay and I talked things out and realized that there were two different versions of the Power Rangers universe. One where Lost Galaxy and RPM happened, and another where everything else took place, and we realized that the branching point took place on November 20th, 1998. So Kay decided to use the brain scanner on herself to see if she could figure out what caused the temporal split, and whatever she saw creeped her out so much that she decided to create a new wireless interdimensional interface portal alignment device, which malfunctioned and sent us all to different dimensions, where Guy learned some new kung fu from a Pai Schwa master, Mayo turned her tablet into a magic spellbook, and I got to party with Kay at Power Morphicon, all while the Morpotsners played around with our computer systems to bring us back home. Phew. Then Alphabet Soup made off with the Morpotsners, and I went off to rescue them, and all our cameras started malfunctioning, and Mayo and I went on our first date, except it wasn't really me, because I had been infected with the Venjix virus, an evil AI that Alphabet Soup had once forced Dr. K to create, and had basically wiped out her entire world. But now it was forcing me to kidnap all my friends and bring them to the secretary of Alphabet Soup, who was having Dr. C experiment on the newly reformed T Omega. Luckily, my friends escaped using their new tricks from their interdimensional road trips, and even though I was hunting them down with the help of agents R Alpha and R Beta, they still managed to trick me and trap me long enough to cure me with K's antivirus. Except that wasn't enough, because there was some weird psionic component identical to my Dark DB persona, so Mayo had to bust out the magic and perform an exorcism to make the cure stick. After that, I was able to tell them what really happened to me, and that the Morpotsners were really the ones behind everything, and that they had never been kidnapped, and that they had actually been partners with Alphabet Soup since the beginning, and had stolen the wireless interdimensional interface technology and infected me with the Venjix virus. So naturally, we decided to take the fight to them. Big mistake. Now, not only is their next big plan almost ready to go into action, but they've got crazy black glowy eye powers themselves. What's going to happen next? Well, I guess I'll just have to wait and see. Next time on Database Rangers Power Review.